Oh, that was lovely, huh?
Hey, we weren't quite live yet.
That's
Hey,
true.
but now we are.
Now we are. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here once again, but it has been...
That's your handbrake. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good.
I know. No, we have had a bit of a tough week, few days. How long has this been going on now?
For me, since Friday.
Since
For
Friday.
the rest of you, I would say like Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, so it's coming
You're
up
gross.
on... Yeah.
You guys are gross.
Yeah, well, if you cannot hear it, I am super nasally. My throat is a little raspy. You sound lovely.
Yeah. I'm lucky in that my nose doesn't get as much anymore. I think I'm so good at controlling that.
You're so
No, just stop. Yeah. But my throat gets really gunked up. So
you have your tea. You have your medicated tea.
Yeah, it's Theraflu. It's the first time I've ever tried it, and I'm
not loving it.
Doesn't taste great.
Is it dirtier than normal tea? Like it?
No, it doesn't.
Tea tastes like dirt.
Right. So. I know you think tea is dirt water. I think it's flavorful dirt water.
So does this have good flavor to offset the dirt?
I think there's like a honey flavor in it that I think I've discovered I don't like warm honey.
Yeah, that's fair. I just like to flush with straight water. Like just clear it out.
Yeah, that's worked for me once. One time. Your Darth Maul cup.
Ah, yes.
It's worked for me one time that I like super flushed one day with water because I felt a cold coming and I was like, not today. And it was magical. The water did the trick, but it was like I was literally sipping every 10 seconds. So
yeah. All right. Well, once you're done sipping on your gross, you do not like that.
I don't.
You do not.
I'm gonna get it all down though, because if it actually does what it claims to do,
then it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
So all right. Aftertaste came back.
Let's jump in here with the family update. Bum, bum, but I could actually do the sound effects.
And yet you didn't. Yet you didn't.
I want to take this moment to apologize to our listener who is here with us, whether it's your mom or my mom or whoever it is. I apologize.
I hope that when we are, I was about to say adults, when our children are adults, if they're doing something like that, like I hope we're as supportive as our parents are.
True.
Because our parents are pretty awesome.
That is
so. Anyway,
100% true. And now we have two listeners.
Shall I say?
We should just talk up how awesome everybody that tunes in is.
They're wonderful people.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
all right, sound effect time.
Okay, that was it. That was terrible.
Wow.
That was really quiet.
I don't even know if you can hear that.
And I was gonna say, do you want to start by restating it again? But I think you're just going right into it. There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Sound effect time. All right. So what do you have for?
You have to hit pause, honey. Thank you.
So what do we have for family update this week?
I don't know why you always ask me. You always ask me.
Because I feel like I do the talking, the lead-ins.
You do. I like that.
So it's on. It means it falls to you. So what do you got? Family update. My family.
The family update starts with Rory.
Yes.
Rory is a big boy. He is
on the potty.
I waited for that to happen.
And he poopies.
Oh, yes. I like that. Well, if you don't remember, a few weeks ago, we were talking about trying to encourage Rory to potty train and how we would sing songs. And we basically would take children's nursery songs and change the words to like Rory peeing and pooping on the potty and yay, he's such a big boy.
Yeah.
And it's now been extended from like London bridges to like, I don't know, a whole slew of things. If you're a Packers fan like our house is, we now can go da 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 da, go Rory, go.
It gets him excited.
He gets
to
excited.
Sit on the
He
potty.
does get excited. He doesn't like that one as much because he gets really frustrated that I'm not saying "Go Pack Go" because
Right.
he's such a good little Packer fan.
That is true.
I mean, we'll be watching one of our college teams play, and he'll get mad at us because he'll say "Go Packers," and we'll be like, "No, that's the Hawkeyes.
Sorry,
Nobody,
buddy.
that's the Cyclones." He's like, "No, Packers."
When we play catch in the basement, we have a little foam football, and we'll toss it around in the basement just to play catch. And he says, "You're a Packers, and I'm Cyclones." It's so cute. Sometimes we're on the same team. Sometimes we're both Packers. But usually one of us is one team and one of us is the other team. Even though we throw it back and forth.
There you go.
It still works. But he is
he's working,
still potty training.
Yes, and he's doing a really, really good job. I mean, I've always heard from others that boys take more time.
They mature more slowly.
Well, and the mental processes of what using the toilet really means is different than for girls, and physically I don't know what that feels like, so it might be totally different. But he's doing a really good job. I want to say Saturday he had like 3 accidents. Sunday he had 2. Sunday he made it through all of mass.
Yeah, he wore undies to church.
I was terrified.
He asked to go to the bathroom. 2 times? We went before we went into church, and then 2 times during church.
Yes.
He asked to try and go potty.
One time he made a running exit, and I just had to chase after him. But it was to get to the potty.
Right.
And yeah, no accidents. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
So he's doing a really good job. I know that when we're really diligent, he's really good about it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot on us right now. But he's really motivated.
And he's figured it out where he knows that if he is sitting on the potty, like that's the time to do it. And so he does usually pee.
That might be when is this too much info?
No, I'm just excited. I'm just excited that he's actually going potty.
Yeah. So. Well, I feel like this is our first child that we are actually potty training.
Right. Yeah. Because we don't have any help from the daycare.
Right. Daycare has been amazing for our first 2, where like we might get them started or we would
just reinforce at home.
Yeah.
But they
for the most part it was And so I don't know, like every victory I'm like, you're doing it. He did it.
Yes. So exciting.
Yeah. So, yay, Rory.
Yay, Rory. Number 2 on the list. I'm so I'm excited, but I'm also sad about.
I know.
So we've been talking about with you guys over the last couple of weeks how we're going to this event at church, how it's like once a week, we sit down, we have a meal with people, we talk, and we watch videos and kind of help to grow our faith. And
our collective faith. Oh, wait, no. Okay. Anyways, yes.
And this week is the last session for this first series in the program.
Yeah.
Which it's just so bittersweet because it has been really fun. We've been meeting new people and it's been awesome because we've, seen them at church and it's fun. I mean, we feel like we're making friends. Yeah. We're getting into the community a little more, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And but it's also really sad because like now it's kind of over
and coming to a close. And so like, even though we know we're going to see everyone, either at school stuff or at church stuff.
Right.
It's still like, hopefully we'll still have a connection with you. Hopefully, we'll still,
So it's bittersweet. There is another program that's going to be coming. It's kind of like a part 2 that we're hopefully going to be able to take a part of. We're just going to have to see how it fits in the schedule, but we're definitely looking forward to being more involved and hopefully doing more.
Totes my goats.
I'm sorry. It's the crud. The crud. It's a great hot dog you're doing there.
I know. That's what I was about to say. Make a great impression of a hot dog.
All right. Next update. We got a lot of updates today. This is an exciting week.
It was a fun week. So on Thursday, the third day. Thank you. On Thursday, the school that I used to work for has a really exciting day, which I kind of just feel like it's because I'm not there that they're having it just feels like one of those things. Like, of course,
we talked last week how the the girls at the current school that our kids are at, the high school team is going to the playoffs for volleyball, and they ended up coming in second.
Right.
And when you were at your old school, the teams
Right.
often did well,
Yes,
but they would kind of
the
fall off
volleyball
at the
team.
end.
Yeah, the volleyball team was a really great team. I mean, just has amazing leadership in the coaches, and just year after year turns out a phenomenal team. And I'm not sure how they did this year. I know they made it to the state tournament, but I don't know how far they made it. But they can at least 3 years in a row while I was there were second place.
Yeah.
Like never quite closed the deal on the champion spot. And so now, the current school that the girls are going to, it's sort of like, well, we made our magic happen, second place. But again, that's awesome. I mean, I in the moment, second place always feels kind of bitter. They say it's first loser, but it also you have to realize
just
second place,
that's
second best in the state. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, but this coming Thursday, that school will be playing for the high school football championships. Which
went the whole time that we lived there, they were not great. They made playoffs a couple times, but usually went out in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah.
They were good teams. And now, they were not great teams. But now apparently
that our curse has lifted from them.
Lifted it.
They're going
all the way.
They're going all the way.
So I hope they do really well. And I'm really sad because my week just works out that I actually have to teach while they'll be playing.
Yes. I'll TiVo it.
So thanks. So I can't actually watch, but I really wanted to watch. And it was one of those things where when they played in the semifinal game last week, I was like looking at my watch and be like, are they still playing at this time? I just don't know. Are they still playing? And then my students went to lunch and I was like frantically searching. I was like, is it still playing? Is it still playing? And it just ended. And so I missed it. But I'm so proud of them, especially since I know a lot of those guys, and I'm really, really hoping they do a great job.
Yeah,
so
definitely exciting stuff. All right.
Yeah. So this fourth thing, oh my gosh, this is like when my students come in, they see the agenda and they're like, 7 things for the day. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, it's 7 things in 90 minutes. We'll be fine.
We are not, this podcast is not 90 minutes.
No. I don't have it in me. So I was realizing as I was going through my my coursework for my master's degree that I am at a point in my degree work where I have earned, this sounds so sad, I've earned 9 credit hours.
Yes.
But 9 credit hours, I'm pretty sure is halfway to the pay bump. So I just realized that by the end of this year, I will, for the first time ever in my teaching career, get to change lanes next year. I won't just be teacher BA
with a bachelor's, normal humdrum,
boo-ha. I will be teacher BA plus 15 or plus 18 or whatever. I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited for you. It's awesome. I'm really happy that you're doing this, not only because it's going to bring more money into the house, but because I think it's going to really lead you down a great path.
I hope so. I hope so. Even if I don't get to use the degree right away, I hope that what I learn will allow me to be a better teacher.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, the last thing we got for the family update is, you guys saw this on the Instagram. I just posted a picture of this yesterday, I think. Jetta, 8 months old baby, just started crawling a couple weeks back. We told you guys about it. She is insane. Already pulling herself up, standing on things, like just ready to cruise like crazy.
Standing on things. Makes it sound like she climbed up on top of like the table and it's like, I'm standing, guys.
She has not climbed up on the table, but she has gotten up a step.
I didn't need
to
know.
All the way up a step.
I didn't need to know.
Not like all the steps.
No,
just the first step.
I didn't need to know.
But
that terrifies me.
I'm just so impressed with her. Like the way, how quickly she's progressing through things.
She's for where she was 6 months ago.
Yeah, when we had our big health scare. I don't know if you guys remember back that far.
She is catching up so quickly.
Yeah.
And she amazes me all the time, just how big she is, how much energy she has. Right now, I'm a little freaked out because she also has the crud,
right,
which just gives me the heebie-jeebies and the willies and the freakouts and like rocking her to sleep tonight. Just I was,
it's holding her
close.
Yeah,
but she is kicking it right now.
Yeah. No, it's great. Just got a couple teeth coming in. Hopefully they pop soon because that's been a nightmare. But otherwise, things are pretty good. Hopefully everybody heals up here quick because I'm over having this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Good. Gross. All right. While we dance, I'm gonna ask you right now. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys didn't have to see that. All right.
All right. So this second, this topic.
I know what you're trying to do there. Yeah, that one. Yes.
You had a little experience.
I had a moment
on Sunday.
I had a moment. So we have some
people.
I will tell the people. Thanks for that lead in.
That's what I'm here for.
So I had a moment on Sunday where we were talking with some friends of ours after Mass, and they happened to be right in the middle of a pregnancy.
Yeah, very exciting.
Very exciting. It's their first, and just I almost like try to live vicariously through expectant
let's just
moms.
be honest with everybody.
I love being pregnant.
You have baby fever all the time.
All the time, 100% of the time.
and it's
bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. Yeah.
We have enough kids.
We need to be done.
But it doesn't mean you don't get excited.
But it doesn't mean that I don't get excited. And it doesn't mean that every now and then I have like this weird, like, we could go for a number 5. And then you're usually like, no, we could not. I mean, you're like maybe could. In like 5 years. And then you're like, but do you want to be?
There's a big difference.
Do you want to have that gap? Do you want to it's just a lot of logistical things that
between could and should.
Yeah, but you don't want to. You don't want it to be woulda.
What?
No, like I'm the coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like we could. Should we? Shouldn't. And then in the future, are we gonna look back and be like, I wish we would have. Yeah, you won't be like that. You won't be. I'll be like, I want more babies. I do. I love babies. So anyways, so pregnant women, I live vicariously through them, and that like when I see or when I have someone in my life who is pregnant, like I tend to like try to relive. Yeah. I'm like, oh, babies. But anyways, after Mass on Sunday, we were talking with them and talking about they had just found out what their baby is going to be, a shark. And sorry, that's just a joke from anyways. What gender their baby is. Yes. And I immediately started being like, oh, well, here's how this is going to be. And I started talking and giving them advice about their child that's not even born yet.
Right.
And telling them how their kid is going to act. And like in the middle of talking and being like, oh, when the baby comes, this is how your life is going to change. In the middle of giving one of those little like mom speeches, I like in my head, it was like, shut up.
Just stop.
They don't want to hear this from you. And it was like, it's so true. The new parents don't want to hear what other parents have to say unless they ask.
Right. I think there's this super
unsolicited advice is not okay.
Yeah.
And I was having this moment where my head was telling me to shut up and my mouth couldn't.
Yeah, I think there's this really fine line between being excited for pregnant couples and wanting to like ask them questions and share your own experiences. And then on the other side of that line is like basically giving all the unsolicited advice and
Right.
telling them like, well, this is how it was for me, so it's probably how it's going to be for you.
Right.
Like, obviously, you don't know that.
Right.
You don't know.
The assumption that all couples, all families, all babies are the same.
Yeah.
That there are these universals. And as much as there may be universals, it's like what I tell my students about the English language. For every rule in the English language, we have a way to break the rule.
Yeah.
And so for every baby that's born, that you might expect it to be a certain way, there is another baby out there that is going to be completely different.
Right.
And so why we love to do this like advice giving thing is beyond me. And so I really I don't know if those friends will hear this podcast. I don't know if they're regular listeners, but I would love to apologize and just be like, that was the crazy lady mom coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry. Enjoy experiencing your child.
Yeah.
In your own time, in your own way.
And if you do have questions, obviously we have a lot of experience with children. And so if you have a specific question or if you just want generalities, we've got those too.
Yeah. And even within our own family, we'll have 4 different stories for 4 different children for 4 different situations.
Right. I mean,
for the same situation. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we just laid that out with potty training. It's so true. Everybody's been a little different.
Everybody has been extremely different. I feel like Danny was potty trained in 2 days.
Yeah.
Mariana took 2 years.
Yeah.
She's still potty training.
I don't think it's quite
okay. It's not that bad, but and then Rory is like, he's a boy. So this is all new to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, stop talking then.
Okay.
All right.
I will put my foot in my mouth and keep it there.
Perfect.
That's not really what I meant to say.
Close enough. Right?
Okay. Oh, dance break. It's so gross. It's so gross.
You're just a hater, man.
You just did the thing I did with my nose. Just slightly off screen. And you told me I was gross earlier.
So quick shout out to Stormageddon for watching the podcast. We got a little Snapchat that the puppers is not super impressed with our faces, apparently.
No offense to Stormageddon. I don't feel like she's overly impressed with a lot of things in life. I think she has her favorites, and everything else is like, I can live without you.
Yeah.
And you know what? That is a pretty sweet life to have when you know what you like and you know what you want, and all else doesn't matter to you.
True.
So,
all right.
Right now, it is a talk. I live with this
every
day.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, that's the thing is we thought and we thought and we thought and we thought some more.
Yeah.
And we sat on a log like Winnie the Pooh and we went think. And we came up with a big fat nothing for this week. I had a few ideas that were very generalized that didn't really fit into any perfect little family segment.
Sure.
So yeah, I did just have a thought.
Yeah.
Why did I have a thought?
I had a thought too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it about Stormageddon?
Kind of, yeah.
And simplicity of life?
No.
Oh, that's where my thought went.
Okay, well, why don't you just go for it?
Oh.
See where it goes.
Well, I've been doing for my master's, I've been doing some observations of counselors.
Right.
Because that's a requirement. And today, counselors were speaking with freshmen at my school about suicide and suicide prevention and kind of things that students have to think about these days that like we didn't have in our lives, or at least it wasn't as prevalent. And they were talking about the correlation, not necessarily that the correlation
Causation.
is a causation, but
Right.
just there's a correlation between social media and specifically smartphones
Yeah.
being invented and the rates of suicide in teens increasing.
Sure.
And thinking of Stormageddon just now and her simplicity of life. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, simplicity. That's more what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And how, you know, she has what I said about she has the things she likes, and then everything else is like she doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And a phrase kept coming up in my head as we were talking with students today about social media and how some of them become addicted to it, and to the point where like counselors have even had to be like, you need to delete this app off your phone so you're not looking at it. And students can't, like, they're just like, but I have to know what people are saying, and I can't miss out, and I want to be a part of it, and they're talking about me, so I need to know what they're saying about me.
Right.
And it brings me back to this phrase that I don't remember who first said it to me, but when they did, I was just like, boom. And my mom's probably going to be like, it was me, and you never listened. And I'd be like, you're right, because you're my mom, and no one listens to their mom. At least not until they're almost 30. And then we think our moms are brilliant people.
Say our children don't listen to you at all. So
no,
they listen to me less than they listen to you.
True. So. That is true. But the phrase is, what other people think about you is none of your business. And I've actually brought that up with students before, where they're like, but don't you want to know what? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I think deep down there's that nagging voice that is like, do people like me? Do people want to be with me? But then I think about, when I don't know and I just live in my own little happy world and I don't have to worry about, oh, this person said this mean thing about me, or this person thinks that I'm a total spaz, and I just let those people go. I'm so much happier.
Yeah.
And so I just thank you, Stormageddon, for helping me to remember that, and to remember that what other people think of me is their problem, not mine.
Yeah. Well,
that's really
put me off on a couple different little tangents.
Oh no.
So, well, to kind of piggyback, I'm going to do a military thing to caveat and to piggyback off of what she just said. No.
As what happens in my class. I agree with that person. Do you now?
Yes. Ditto.
Good.
No, but what you're saying about, what other people think about you doesn't matter, or you shouldn't, it's not your business.
It's not my business.
It is so hard because we are such social creatures, right?
True.
We want to live in groups, we want to interact with other people, we want to have relationships. And so it's very difficult if that's your goal, right? If your goal is to form positive relationships with lots of people,
okay,
then the thing that you need to do in order to make that happen is to make yourself as likable as possible to as many people as possible.
Sure.
So in order to maintain that, or to keep that going, or to improve upon it, the thing that you have to do is take tests to see, are people responding to me positively? Do they, are they liking what I, it's like sales.
Sure,
do they like what I'm selling?
But I would argue that requires face-to-face.
Yeah.
Because you have to read the person. And if you're just on social media trying to read what their words mean, you're going to miss half of the message.
Yeah. I can't tell you the number of times that you are freaking out because you read something
I do it all the time.
This sounds bad. This seems like they're mad, or that they...
Right. I do it all the time, where I'll write something that in my head, I'm like, this is funny, or, oh, I hope they get the joke. And then the response is that they absolutely do get the joke.
Right.
Whoever it is, they do. But the way that they respond, I'm reading the words and I'm not hearing a tone, or I'm not seeing their face. And I think I'm a little on the spectrum in terms of autism, as we all are. But in that, I very much read other people's reactions when I'm speaking. And if I don't get any kind of a reaction, and I mean, I'm kind of annoying as a teacher, because if I get zero reaction to something, if I get people like just blank stares, I I lay into people about it, or I will continue. And I've told classes, like, I will continue to repeat myself and go over this one concept until somebody reacts to me.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, we get it already. I'm like, well, then you gotta say something, you know,
Right.
like I read off of that. So yeah, I'm a person where typing and social media, I take your words at face value. And if your words seem upset, then I'm like, crap, I made someone mad. I'm the worst person. I didn't mean to make them mad. And then typically they're like, I wasn't mad. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Didn't get that.
No, that's tough. But the other thing, the other thing that I was thinking about was with this whole simplicity of life. This is something that I've talked to you about.
We are not
repeatedly.
running away to Africa and becoming bush people.
That is the dream. No, aside from becoming African bush people, which would be awesome.
Out living in a savannah. We would be eaten by by lions, not tigers. Lions.
Tigers do not live in the desert. Or in the African bush.
We would be eaten by lions.
Oh, well. Anyways. No, we've talked about this before where, you know, the reason, like, our lives now are so full. They're so busy with this, that, the other thing, work, school, events. Like, we just jam our lives so full of stuff. And I've started to look at like days in 3 sections. Since it's 24 hours, I break it into 3 8-hour chunks, right?
Okay.
There's the 8 hours of work,
the
8 hours of sleep, and the 8 hours of everything else.
Right.
Right.
Which that 8 hours is usually broken up into like 4 and 4 or 2 and 6 or.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is that the 8 hours of work typically have to steal time away from the 8 hours of leisure, or the 8 hours of whatever
Absolutely.
else. Because you have travel time, you have breaks that actually make your 8 hours of work longer. You have all this stuff.
For me, I do 8 hours of work and then I travel home and then I do another hour of work.
Right.
Like,
yeah, but
it's the job.
We've just filled our lives so full of stuff that we've been unable to get back to the core of like what life should be, I think.
Literally just keeping yourself alive.
Well, yeah, and like basic like things
social
that would make us happy, right? Basic social interaction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we weren't constantly running to all these different things and we weren't working as much, we would have more time to pursue meaningful endeavors, is basically the idea.
Okay.
Right? But the problem is we can't do that right now because
just at this point in our life, you mean?
Yeah.
You think someday we'll get there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So
I thought you meant like as a society, which maybe you do as a society as well. Yes. And you're hoping that we'll get back to. But I was just like, man, this is depressing. Like you're basically saying that we're going to run ourselves into the ground, which.
But I feel like that's kind of where we are right now, is we're like we're flying and then we're like bouncing off the ground right now, and we need to like get back in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Emergency landing. It's not working. Go back up.
Exactly. We need to go back up. But no, if we could simplify our lives more, I think everyone would be a lot happier.
Okay.
And if we weren't looking at such a broad global experience, I think people would be happier too.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the 90s.
Yeah, where you could just focus on the people in your immediate area that you like cared about, right? The people that well, like, why do we need to be on Facebook and look at our friends from 10 years ago who now live in California?
True.
Right?
True.
Does that enrich your life to look at their social media posts?
True. And that's something I guess I would say, like, for me, I have adjusted how I use social media tremendously.
Yeah.
I have Twitter accounts, but I'm like never on them anymore.
I have one. I haven't been on it in like 7-8 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me.
Yeah.
I just don't use it because I've realized it's for me, it's a weird way to communicate with people.
Yeah.
It's just weird because
it's just
like
so
it's just a blurb that I'm just like it just feels like I'm just yelling out into the abyss.
Yeah.
And then hopefully somebody will listen. I'm like, there's much more direct and positive ways that I can like, blah,
You know what's really annoying about Twitter? Just a quick side tangent.
Sure,
sorry.
Go for it.
What's really annoying about Twitter
is interesting today
is that, so you have your blurb, right? But now, and they've extended how many characters you can have in your blurb.
Yeah, it was like 440.
I don't know what it is, but it's still not enough. And so people make these threads.
Right.
You know what's super annoying about threads? Is that it used to be when you were like chatting with somebody online and you only had so many characters, you had to keep pressing enter. You had to keep pressing enter and you had to keep pressing enter. And they would get it in sections, like text messages being broken up.
Yes.
And they would like cut words in half.
Yes.
That's essentially Twitter threads.
Sure. Yes,
you just have to keep you're breaking all your sentences and paragraphs up. It's annoying to read.
It's the same thing that we did in the late 90s.
Right. Just tweet me a Google Doc. Like write out your whole thought process and then send me the link via Twitter.
Right. Or if you both have Google,
you could just share it. So let's throw Twitter in the bin.
Gosh, yeah. No, I think for some people, Twitter has a place.
Sure.
Just for me personally, I got to a point where when I would put something on Twitter or like retweeting something, I was just sort of like, why am I doing this?
Right.
You know, who is seeing this come from me and it's really like, oh, wow, look what she's doing. Like nobody, people are like, well, that's cute.
Right.
Moving on.
No, you just shared the same news article that 56,000 other people just shared. Right.
So I guess so Twitter was kind of one of my first big things to just, it was gone. Next thing I did was that I realized, this was when Rory was an itty bitty baby. And I would get up really early in the morning. So this was when I had just become cheer coach. And I was getting up at like 4:30 a.m. so that I could feed Rory and then put him back to bed. And then get ready and then go in and coach cheer before school and then teach and then sometimes have practice after school and then come home and sometimes teach dance. And I realized to keep myself awake in the mornings, I would get up to feed Rory. And then first thing I'd do is I'd sit down and I'd open up my Facebook app and I would scroll Facebook. And there were so many times where I would see something that a friend would post or somebody would post and I would be upset. I'd be sitting there with my baby boy who is probably, 3-4 months old at the time.
Right.
Then I'm supposed to be engaging in this really, miraculous, beautiful moment with my son, feeding him and watching him grow and having moments with him. And instead I'm exercising my thumb.
Right.
Scrolling and getting angry. And there was just one morning where all of a sudden I just stopped and was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I deleted the app. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, gone.
Yeah.
And it took me probably a week where I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm sitting here with a baby and I don't know what to do.
Right.
And after that week, then I was like, I know what I'm going to do. Like I talk to him and I stroke his hair because he likes that. And like all of a sudden I was bonding with my kid, a human that I created and needs me and loves me and I love. And whoa, this relationship is so much better. And I'm not saying that I completely got rid of Facebook. I still have Facebook. I'm still there.
Yeah.
But when I scroll Facebook, like I might read a few things that people post, but most of the time I'm very much like, oh, okay, moving on. And sometimes when I get stuck on there, you know how you just get stuck in like that. What's next? What's next? All of it, like I'll just have those wake up moments where I'm like, okay, deep enough. Get out of here.
Yeah,
shut it down.
It used to be that you could hit the bottom of your news feed.
There's no bottom.
There's no bottom.
It just
anymore.
keeps going.
Yeah.
And going and going. It's an Energizer bunny.
It's so bad. So yeah, we both deleted Facebook. We basically don't use Twitter. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm still on the book. Like if someone really needs to get a hold of me and they don't have my info, but it's not on my phone. Not on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think what social I have Instagram on my phone.
Right.
And even that is like I might check it once a week now.
Yeah.
I'm getting more often, but you're controlling
I do
the whole golden apple
thing.
I
do the
right. And so yeah, like every now and then I'll take a video of something and be like, isn't this cute? Should I put it on Instagram? But and I know that I annoy people sometimes because people will try to get a hold of me.
And you're
And
just not there.
I'm just not there because my phone is in another room, or I stuck it in my bag after work and I literally didn't think to pull it out until I needed to plug it in so it could charge and be my alarm for the morning.
Right.
My iPhone hasn't backed up in over 230 weeks.
Should probably do something about that, huh?
It's too old.
Like get a new phone.
It's too old. I have a 5C.
It's true. You are
it won't
6 generations behind.
It won't back up for anything. There are apps that I can't download because they're not supported. And I'm perfectly happy because I can still call and make texts. I can
make calls and send texts. Technology's hard.
It is. It is. I'm such an old lady.
You are.
I'm
all right. Well, this talk
up until
took
like
some...
6 months ago, I felt like I was still 22, and now I feel like 62. So, which is fine. No, I wouldn't go that far either because I know some very, very savvy mid 60-year-olds when it comes to tech. Yeah. So I should just keep my mouth shut.
All right. Well, this talk took some twists and turns. You have anything else you want to throw in there before we jump into our next segment?
I felt like I just rambled that whole time. It was good. This is just like how our conversations go at home.
It's true. We are very philosophical. No, okay. You don't feel like we got philosophical there?
Are we tech-losophical?
Ooh, I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to push play.
I'm really glad you poked at my nose because I would have just bit your finger really hard.
Wouldn't have been the first time. All right. So we are going to do, I think this will probably be a shorter segment.
We got to keep it short.
We got to keep it short.
Got to keep it short.
But we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
So good. That's all we can say. So good.
Yes. We were fortunate enough to get Disney Plus, and we have been watching the newest Star Wars television series. Can you even call it a television series?
I don't know. Right. I don't.
TV.
Yeah, I don't know how to refer to those
streaming series.
Right. Like, I'm probably wrong, but I feel like they don't have a name yet because, like, like Netflix series.
Right.
Is this just a Disney Plus series?
Like
and then what are all of the original series? But like A&E has original series and HBO has original series.
Right.
So what are these called? Streaming service series. They're SSS. They're SSS.
S-cubed.
They're SSS.
Yes. So we have been watching The Mandalorian, and I have a frog in my throat, and it's really annoying. All right, there we go.
I hope people are just enjoying watching my face every time you go over there to cough.
All right. So the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian are out. They take place. What can I even say that? What can I say in a spoiler-free review? Just so what's been officially released?
I don't know. It's been a ride, babe.
It's a Star Wars reference.
It is. It's action filled and yet it's thought provoking.
Yeah.
It's unexpected and yet it doesn't take you outside of the norms of the Star Wars universe, which is what I'm always afraid of.
Yeah.
That they're going to throw in, I think that was one of my first comments was that as things were happening, I was like, I love seeing all the old aliens.
Right.
Like, there were.
Yeah, it feels like in the new movies, like episode 7 and episode 8, they've been trying to expand and expand and expand without touching on
what was
the things from these in the prequels that they have been touching on. They've kind of been ruining, and so and so, but in terms of like scenery pieces, they've gone to basically all new planets.
Right.
They have used mostly new ships. There's some throwbacks.
Yeah.
Obviously the Millennium Falcon. But the aliens in particular, there's just a lot of new different
faces.
that we're
Yeah.
not used to, and
They
you
were
would
going,
expect
"Wah."
because we saw so many of the same aliens in the prequels and the original series that we would
That
at
you would
least see
see
some.
some. Yeah. But anyways, that was one thing I really loved, was that I was like, oh, I recognize these species.
Yeah. But what I think
And
is
I recognize the way of life, and
Right.
I, you know,
it feels like Star Wars.
Yes, it feels right.
Yeah. The thing that I think is the coolest about it is that it has kind of a Western feel to it. It's very much like, it's not like the
like
space
gunslinger
opera.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a
it's a spaghetti
spaghetti Western.
space story.
Western.
There you go. Space Western. Spaghetti space Western.
The original Star Wars trilogy was like a typical fantasy trope, right? The wizard and the farmer go with the rogue to find the princess and rescue her from the castle.
Should we really get into the hero cycle
no,
now?
but I'm just saying,
I'm teaching that on Wednesday.
But it has like a typical fantasy
absolutely
layout to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is very like, so with Solo, it was more of like a heist movie, right? They had to go in, they had to steal stuff, they had to get out.
Yeah.
And they kind of fell down on that. As much as I love Solo, it was kind of portrayed as a heist.
Enough.
And Rogue One was kind of like this too, where it was portrayed as like a heist, but then there were so many other elements that it didn't feel like a heist movie.
Also a movie we love.
Right.
It just it took turns that took it away from the heist feeling.
Yeah. But this it's built more like a Western, and it very much stays with that kind of a feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't move quickly. It moves kind of slowly through the story.
Oh, I mean, your reaction at the end of the second episode was like, what? No, that's not, no, like, that can't be it. Where's the rest of the episode?
Right.
And it's not saying that the episode fell short. It was just, you wanted more. And that's, I think, the mark of a really good show is that at the end of it, you're going, but what happens next?
Right.
And it's definitely doing that.
Yeah, it's got some great cliffhangers for the first couple of episodes.
Yep.
I'm very intrigued by what the elements that they're introducing. I want to speculate and I want to like ask what you think, but you're always like, no, I just want to let it happen. I want to just wait and see.
Yes and no. I mean, while we viewed it, I gave some insight.
Yeah. But overall, we are very much enjoying The Mandalorian. In terms of this whole new Star Wars like productions since Disney's taken over,
right?
Where would you place it? What would your ranking be as far as like
just all the Disney,
just the Disney stuff?
So Disney started with
Force Awakens. Sorry,
7. Thank you. Started with 7 and then put out. Did they put out Solo or Rogue One?
Rogue One.
Then they put out 8, then Solo.
Yep.
Right now we're waiting on 9.
Yep.
December.
Yeah.
We need a babysitter. Anyways,
we need a babysitter.
I think for me, am I ranking bottom to the top?
Sure.
Okay, bottom's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Episode 8.
Agreed. Last Jedi's on the bottom.
There were some good elements in it, but there was just a whole section of the film that you were just like, pointless.
Right.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so Last Jedi's at the bottom.
Yep.
Then I'd put I feel like there's a wrong answer.
You're fine. You do you.
Then I would put episode 7.
Force Awakens.
I
am too. All right.
Okay. Then I think I would put Solo.
Okay.
And then Rogue One and Mandalorian, just because I haven't seen, I need more of Mandalorian to make a full judgment. But Rogue One is, I mean, like I sing the themes for it in the shower. The ending was just right, where I was honestly like, can I spoil Rogue One? I mean, people have had
like
tons of time, right?
2.5 years. If you haven't watched Rogue One yet, cut out for like 2 minutes. Come back.
2 minutes.
Is your spoiler
like
take more than 2 minutes?
Gotcha. I thought you meant like, go watch the film and then come back. Taking for 2 minutes. The ending, sitting in theaters watching it, I was actually having a moment where I was like, if Jin and Cassian survive, I will be mad.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how good it was, where I could see what needed to happen and I could see how the story had to line up and fit together. And I was even in the theaters, I was like, I don't want these characters to go,
right?
But they have to.
Yeah.
And the fact that Disney had the guts
to kill everyone,
to do the right thing, to tell the story correctly.
Yeah.
I was very happy. I was very pleased, because even though it's a sad story, it's also a really uplifting and invigorating, empowering story. And I feel like they just did a really good job. The other thing with it that I was impressed with was I told one of my dear friends at the time, because he was asking my opinion of it. And he was quite a bit older. Sorry. I'm not choking up. Sorry. I think the Theraflu's working. Crud. It's the crud. I could be choking up, but anyways, big movie buff, friend from my previous work, and he had asked me my opinion on it. And I said what I really loved was that they kept the old quality of like the 1970s Star Wars. Mm-hmm. They had kept it kind of grungy and dirty because it was supposed to happen before all of that.
Right.
And like they did a really nice job of keeping it in that same feel. And so I just feel like that's my ranking, and I will sell Rogue One to anybody.
No, that's good. I'm very much with you. 8, 7 at the bottom, or 8 at the bottom, 7 above that.
Yeah.
For me,
it's kind of a ways above it, but
yeah,
there's
a gap. But for me, I would say that The Mandalorian probably is in the middle right now, just because we haven't had enough of it. But I think it's going to climb.
I want more.
Yeah,
I'm excited right now.
And then Rogue One, and then Solo by just a smidge. Solo beats it out, just because I loved so many of the characters, because I already knew most of them. I thought the new characters that they introduced were all really good, and some of the surprises and twists I thought were well handled, even if they did completely destroy the old expanded universe story of everything.
But you have to remember, when Disney took over, they said the expanded universe is no longer canon.
Which I'm really sad about.
Basically, they were like, George Lucas, everything you said was good, out the window.
Yeah. All right, that's enough Star Wars talk, because people are probably not.
That's still the talk.
No,
that was okay. Good. That's
separate.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was just bad.
I feel like from our seated dancing, you would never guess that we are actually trained dancers.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
All right. Mom, the music. Hit me.
Okay. So the one word I had you put on our little outline today was just.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued, because I, like the viewers, am going into this blind.
Good. Excellent. It's basically me ranting about the use of this word.
Oh, okay.
Just.
That makes sense. I can see that.
I don't feel like the word was ever an issue in my life until this point.
Okay.
But after reading papers where students use the word just, or the way that students use just, like just in like that in their vocabulary, in their speech, it just, I did it again. It belittles everything you're trying to say.
Mm.
And especially in academic writing, I have come across it so many times now where I'm like, why? If you took it out, you have this really good, strong statement. And then today, this is why I had it. I was like, this is going to be my mom using.
Yeah.
The use of it in language, like verbal language, gives speech a different meaning. I had a student who wanted to know if I would leave my door unlocked to my classroom so that the work crew could clean.
Mm.
And, I don't have a problem with that. The issue that I had was that he asked, could you just leave your door unlocked so we could clean? And I thought, if he hadn't used that one word, it would have sounded like he was politely asking me to leave the door unlocked,
right,
as a convenience to them.
Yeah.
That one word made that kid sound like a brat. And I wanted to be like, no, you know what? I'm going to lock the door now. I'm going to shut off the lights. I'm going to make it really hard for you to clean my classroom.
Yeah.
And I even thought to myself, I was like, obviously I didn't do that. Obviously I did not do the jerk move and lock the door and
probably should have.
No. I was very polite. I said, I will leave it. Yes, I would like you to clean my classroom. Thank you. And then I got to thinking, how often do I use it when speaking to you? When I'm asking you to just do something for me. Can you just clean the dishes?
I did.
You did. It was amazing. Could you just help me for a second? Could you just do this? And all of a sudden I was like, yeah, that word needs to go. So that's my mom using. And it's more of a teacher and a wife contemplation.
Interesting.
Should I get rid of that word? Yes, I should.
I feel like I don't use it that much, but now that you've said it,
you probably don't, because you don't yell at me as often as I yell at you.
That's true. No, but I feel like if you do, I want you to start calling it out so I can look for it, because I don't notice it, and I feel like we've gotten so used to putting those kinds of words in our language
absolutely.
that we are totally blind to them now.
I think so.
And it would.
And it is. It muddles. It muddles your meaning.
Yeah, and it would make you feel. It makes it sound more polite
to leave it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So please,
I'm gonna work on it.
Call it out.
You can call it out for me as well.
Just call it out.
Just call it out, okay?
Just call it out already.
Just call it out.
All right. If you made it this far into the show, you are here for the web exclusive dad joke. I'm so excited. I went through some jokes to find a good joke for you guys. And it was tricky. It was tough to do because you thought some of my jokes were inappropriate. But I Googled wholesome dad jokes just for the show. So
the problem was that some of the wholesome dad jokes like to poke fun at the mom.
That's true. All right.
And I thought, see, I did it. And I thought you would want dad jokes that were more universally funny.
Yeah.
Rather than poking fun at your wife.
True. Okay. So I was looking at jokes and we were eating lunch, right? And I was looking at jokes, trying to do it. And I shouldn't have been computering at the table, right? But I was looking for jokes for the podcast. And I was eating some soup, some tomato soup. And Danny goes, Dad, are you supposed to eat bugs? And I was like, Danny, that's so gross. Like, why are we talking about this at the table? And I was like, just save this for later, okay?
Save it for later.
I did it. I said, just save it for. And so we finished lunch. I got everything cleaned up, put it away. And I was still looking for jokes. And I was, trying to find a good one, of course.
Yeah.
And Danny comes up to me again. And I was like, Dan, what were you saying while we were eating? And I was like, did you say something about eating bugs? And she goes, yeah, but you don't have to, it's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about it. I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, well, there was one in your soup, but it's gone now. And that's the joke. I don't know.
That wasn't funny at all.
All right. Well, maybe I'll try and find a better joke for next time because I try to do it. I try to pull the classic tell it like a story gig.
You did it.
You can critique my joke telling later.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because
No,
we're like an
just do it
hour
now.
long now.
Okay. The thing you have to do is that when you get to the end, you have to say the punchline still like a punchline.
Yeah.
You didn't say like a punchline.
Because I kind of forgot.
Gotta punch it.
I kind of forgot what the punchline was. So it's going to get better.
It can only go up from here.
All right, guys. That's all we've got for you this week. We will be back in... Are we going to be here next week because of Thanksgiving?
I think we could be because we don't actually get break until Wednesday.
Okay, so we will be here next week, even though it is Thanksgiving. Still on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. We'll see you guys
next week.
Oh, I have the actual music though. We should actually go out to the music.
We should just.
She's just gonna cut it before I can even do it. Mitchell! Thanks for listening. Please support the show by rating this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.